That's incredible.
How did you do that, Patrick?
We're in the same place.
They're mirrored
You're the same
images.
person.
He pinned
my
his
God,
screen,
they
and
are.
when Christian was off screen, he snapshotted it. Have you guys seen that meme going around of some students who took a snapshot of their screen with the words redirecting, and the teacher had like 30 redirectings on her screen when she was teaching.
I saw that.
No.
So bad.
Oh.
So Patrick, you're the other young boy in the photograph.
I'm both of them.
We're live. Welcome everybody to another Eventide, Quarantide happy hour.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo!
Week 8.
Oh my God. How many days has it actually been since we've been in quarantine?
I don't know.
I want to say a month and a half.
I would say that's accurate.
Someone was like, it's
5
been
years,
60, it's been like 60 something days. And that's crazy. Think about that.
March 12th was the last live gig I played.
Well,
It's not crazy when you think that the majority of the countries that have had successful responses to this virus have done at least one more month than we're doing.
That's true. That's very true.
They're ahead of us.
Yeah, the last day I was in the studio with clients was the 13th.
Wow.
See, that was us too. And so we're on day 56 today.
Is that okay? We got it. 56.
We had the Blue Angels fly over Miami today.
I saw that.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was cool, man.
your government at work.
Hey, you know, I don't see anything wrong with it because the Navy's going to train anyway, so it may as well train over the skies of my city.
It's a nice thing, but they should be dropping masks.
They should be dropping test kits.
Yeah, what's that?
They should be dropping test kits.
That's right. That's what they should be doing.
I thought you said they should be dropping acid. I was.
What
That's
formation
not a
is that?
bad thing on the last week of quarantine.
Isn't that a given?
They're going back
That's
to
for day 70.
Vietnam way. It's awesome.
Yeah, we're all stuck at home. I mean, what else is there to do, right?
I don't think they flew over New Jersey on purpose, but I didn't see them here. Wait,
Yeah,
they flew over.
yeah, they flew right over my head.
Yeah, it flew right over my house.
Oh, really? Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, I heard them too. Didn't know what it was.
Hey,
It was
Colin,
loud.
I was gonna say, I wonder if we were like sleeping or something.
It's like right at
It's already
noon. I
daytime.
set
It's
my
pretty loud.
timer and I missed it.
Yeah. Oh,
They fly over
did
pretty
that.
early,
I
right?
think
Oh, okay.
These live Zooms are actually the thing that have kept me knowing what day it is.
Yeah.
I think is good.
Yeah, I have friends that do a quarantine us to quarantine you dance party every Friday. So that's how I'm keeping track.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
What kind of dancing?
It's very cool. So there's 2 parents and 2 kids, and they start out like underneath, so you can't see them, and then they come up and they do all kinds of weird. Oh, it's very cool.
Did I expect you to dance as well?
I do, it's just a minute because it's Instagram. So.
Okay. Yeah, I've been having weekly Zooms with friends, so. Yep, this thing is popular. And I finally got a camera for my monitor, but I can't figure out how to connect it, so.
Yeah, it has to go through your Tesla. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, what an idiot. I buy a car that doesn't need gas. I could have kept, the 300,000 mile Prius for another few years. Just the car's just sitting in the driveway.
Yeah.
Tony, does the Tesla, does it make a engine noise? I mean, there's no engine noise because it's electric.
Yeah, there's not, yeah.
Is there an option to have it make an engine noise?
I wouldn't know. I can barely start the thing and put it in reverse. It's really complicated. I'm hopeless.
A lot of
It's really fast. It's incredibly fast.
Well, that one night we went out, you were terrifying your brother.
Hey, Don.
He just drives in and out of his driveway, 90 miles an hour.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Russell.
He just puts it on autopilot and lets the car do the rest.
Oh, so awesome.
Have you done
What
that,
the car
Tony?
is
Like,
doing
have
again
you
is sitting in the
gone full
driveway.
auto?
I don't need a car. It just sits in the driveway. I haven't used the darn thing in 6 weeks.
Do you zoom from inside your car?
I don't know, Joe.
That's a great idea. We should all Zoom from our cars next time.
Oh, you were gonna
What
say
I
from
discovered,
how many
the
Tesla
most
are
exciting
there?
thing I discovered in the Tesla is that I could stream the Gear Club podcast. It comes up on the. I was amazed
That's
to find it.
exciting.
I was navigating around for, just for entertainment, and it said podcast. So I hit the screen, and it brought up a window. Type in Gear Club podcast, and there it was, and I was able to just stream it in the car.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So,
Nice.
You're doing autopilot, right, Tony? Like coming to work because you have quite a drive.
oh yeah, I use it all. When I used to come to work, I'd use it all the time because my commute on the turnpike always involved 10 or 15 minutes of true bumper to bumper crawling along traffic, no matter what time I went in or went home. So during those times, I would just put it on autopilot. It just follows the car in front of it better than I would, because when I sit there bored for 15 minutes and start looking at my text messages or emails, I'm a worse driver than it is for that situation. It's at least paying attention.
Yeah.
And it works. Sometimes you'll notice someone cuts you off, like scoots in when they really shouldn't. They're being aggressive. The car is much more forgiving of that than I would be.
Does it have an aggressive setting?
I haven't found that. It does have it. It
Does
does
it
have
flip the
chill-
bird?
It does have a
There
chill
is though.
setting.
There is like an aggressive setting where your car. Man, what was it called? This like. There's a setting in the Tesla that you can turn on, right? Well, it'll accelerate extra fast.
No, well, there's standard, and then there's a chill setting.
No, I think he's talking about insane mode.
Insane mode. That's it.
Right.
Oh,
My electric bike has a turbo mode.
all right.
What?
It has 3 modes. Yeah.
I can't imagine needing that. The pickup on this thing is ridiculous. It's really, really fast.
Yeah, when
I
you
don't
let
know.
me drive it, it was like it put me against. It was like a roller coaster. Like
Yeah.
put me on the seat.
But that's standard. So I have to set it for chill if Amory and I go out.
Pat, remember?
No, I've hurt her neck.
You're not still trying to impress her?
Pat, remember when you tried to teach me cruise control?
Oh my God. Yeah, when me and Christian went to Philly to meet up with Incubus to drop off a rose, and my car at the time was a Nissan Sentra with the window that just collapsed all the way down. So I had to cover my window with my graduation gown because that's the most I've gotten out of it already.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
We took Christian's car to Philly, and I was like, "Yo, why aren't you in cruise mode? You have that feature where it'll follow the car in front of you and it'll slow down, and you can just sit back and relax." Did it turn the wheel for you too, dude?
Dude, I was so uncomfortable. I felt like I had no control of the car. I did not feel comfortable with that at all. And you're like screaming at me. I was like, dude.
I'm like, dude, the cruise control, man.
I rent a lot of cars because of traveling, and I cannot stand the cars that have brake assist.
Oh, it's so scary.
I love those, dude. I love that though.
I can't. The steering wheel vibrates, and it's like, what am I? I'm not doing anything wrong. Let me drive. Damn it! I wonder if the experience in a Tesla is the same thing with autopilot.
The lane departure is the worst feature ever.
Oh my gosh!
I always think
that's
I'm crashing. I think I'm gonna hit into someone. It's so brutal, man.
Well, the Tesla regenerates energy, so you don't have to brake. I don't know if that's the same as the steering wheel doesn't shake or anything. And it really is the one thing that you have to get used to driving a car. It's weird for a while because the car just doesn't roll. Like there's no parking brake or anything. It's just magnets holding you in place, basically. So I tell you, after a week or two, I was totally used to it. You really get a sense of how quickly it'll decelerate. Like if you're approaching a red light and you have to stop, you get a pretty good sense pretty quickly. Just take your foot off the accelerator. So you end up driving for an hour with hardly ever tapping the brake. You just get used to it. So, but it is weird.
Is it weird to drive another car that has brakes? Like, is that scary?
Oh yeah,
Because
Oh,
you
yeah.
what
Yeah.
do you just like why is
Yeah,
it not
that's the
stopping?
that's the stereo. That's the stereo part. You think the car's going to stop? You have to remember that you have to do something.
It was like that. There's this engineer who did this experiment with bicycles where he rigged up his bike to where if he turned right, it would go left. And it took him a month to retrain his brain how to ride a bike. But when he went back to a regular bike, he couldn't ride anymore.
Yeah, well, of course. Well, for a while until he got retrained again.
Yeah, it takes apparently it takes a month.
I remember reading about an experiment where people they would have subjects wear glasses that just invert your entire scene for like a month, and after a month, everything flips and it looks normal. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's true that I read that. I don't know if it's an actual experiment.
As in it, like you see everything upside down, like
everything's upside down for a month, and after a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, that's how it projects on your retina. Is upside down on the back of your retina. Your brain flips
true.
it.
That's true. So your brain's flipping it anyhow.
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah. So your brain for a month or so goes, hey, what the hell's wrong with the retina?
At least it doesn't try to turn your eyeballs upside down.
But they would look exactly the same though. It's just gonna.
I wouldn't want to go through the rotation process.
Right out sometime.
Is that like Matrix inversions?
That was yesterday.
That's good, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, I want another round of drunk DSP.
I think it's already on the calendar. I just need to get guests.
So
really
I'm looking
good.
at this on an iPad mini, and like there are two screens of 9. Is there a way to see like everybody?
Yeah, go to gallery view.
Gallery view on the bottom.
I thought I was in gallery view.
Probably in it just won't fit everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's a smaller screen. Yeah.
Yeah,
Are you-
it's just
are you in
iPad.
lens?
It's an iPad mini.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett, where can we get the origin story for that head snack Muppet? Yeah, you're
Oh,
muted.
You're muted.
Wait. Hello?
Sorry about that. Yeah, so that was from FAO Schwartz had the Whatnot Muppet workshop. So I went to that. I was obviously, like most of you, always wanted a Muppet of myself. And they only had certain things. So I had to like buy an extra hair piece and had the guy cut it to make the goatee and all that stuff. But
Dude, that is incredible, man.
That is
yeah.
awesome.
That is.
I made sure he looked like me from the side profile too.
You went off like a count. You used like a count model for that. It's like you're the count's cousin.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have my own Zoom show soon on Eventide.
That's par for the course, probably for Eventide.
Yeah, you had a custom Muppet.
We'll ship that with the H9000.
Yeah, dude.
I don't believe he's been in an Eventide video. He's been in some head snack videos, but we'll have to figure out a way to get him.
Definitely, he's gonna be in the next one.
Like, definitely do a Quarantide. You just need to invite like a few of his friends.
Yes.
Oh my God, that would be so good.
I probably know a few people on the Muppet circuit I could ask.
I think Ernie and Bert are available.
Yeah.
How is Martha in stereo? It sounds great.
Am I in stereo?
When you played your violin, it was. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great.
There's your answer. Brett and I were wondering if Zoom did stereo earlier today.
Oh, James, another thing.
Or maybe you just have a channel going out.
When you go into the Zoom preferences, not only do you have to engage stereo, but you have to remove the auto compression.
Oh yeah.
Right now, our speech is being compressed, but that compression does not work for Pro Tool sessions or any type of music. So as you can, when you hear her pluck her violin, you hear the notes kind of like being cut off at the end, and that's because of the compression.
Guys, do you not know this is a viola?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Now I've been putting Zoom on my mix
After
button.
all this time. Actually, it's both.
Sounds great.
Is it? So it is coming through in stereo or not? It is in my.
I guess so.
You know, I could
That's
maybe it
insane.
was cutting out, and I thought it was stereo. Now I can't tell.
Well, it's going.
Like stereo to me.
No, it.
Oh, it's definitely stereo.
It's coming.
Okay.
It's coming out of my
Oh, it's
H9 in stereo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nothing like a good band delay.
So
But you hear,
Russell,
you,
we
you
must
hear
not
the compression at the end, right?
I heard the compression ducking it. Or I heard a ducker. But it's not you. It's Zoom.
Martha, did you have to download the Zoom device to get
Me?
audio?
Oh, her.
Somehow you guys are
Yeah,
sitting in backgrounds.
I don't know. I have Zoom.
I don't.
I use it for my classes. So
but you're not running through an
Oh,
application right now. You're
background.
running the audio direct into your interface, correct?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
so-
there's
But
there's
it
another
is
way to
stereo.
route audio in true stereo. For example, via
Right.
Pro Tools using a Zoom
I always do the
driver that automatically downloads whenever you
wedding attire.
share a screen, for example. And that is also a way to get optimal audio.
Be framed.
Oh, cool. I have to
Take a picture.
check it out because I'm doing
background.
some live
Yeah,
streams
people do
this
that.
week, so I have to make sure I'm
You guys
coming
walk
through
in.
with
Yeah,
stereo.
Martha, when's your live stream?
Tomorrow at 3:00.
Video of me
All right.
sitting at my desk for 2 minutes.
And
Like, not
that's
on a loop. If
it's
I'm
going to
like-
be on. I'll post it on my Facebook. It's going to be on Facebook and in Instagram and YouTube and
Cool.
that whole thing.
Fabulous.
And then I'm going to do one next Wednesday at 1:00 on my Facebook channel for the New Jersey City University folks, but it'll be for everybody. So
Right on.
How is it both a violin and a viola?
5 string.
so it's got 5 strings.
Okay.
And but this is a specially made one that's so it's also the size of a viola. It's 16 inches.
Yeah, it looks bigger. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And it's also a crossbow, right?
Uh-huh.
You never know when you're going to need one.
It's a very dangerous weapon. Do not cross me.
So the violin is would be the upper 4 strings or the higher 4 strings, and the viola is the lower 4 strings.
Yep.
How are they tuned again? Fifths or fourths?
So the high string is E.
Okay.
I just replaced the strings. So this is what it sounds like without anything. And this is what it sounds like with magic.
Magic. That's the magic preset. That one just keeps on giving.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. I just sit here and play all day.
Works for me.
Love it.
Nice.
I take requests.
Freebird.
It's like, can you play by the window? I'll help you out.
Russell, what's the background today?
Looks like some math.
Really?
I can't. It looks backwards to me. I see.
But the closer you get to the camera, the more you're blocking.
I know, right? Well, for me, I see maybe wave equations. You'd have to ask. You know, some of those guys that were on that DSP call, like I said, Stefan has the biggest math of all. I have to ask him, like,
The biggest man.
what did he say? But I'm not going to show it to you.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
That conversation got deep. It went the closest to understanding that you guys got was when you started relating zero delay loops to the feedback loop of an op amp.
Oh yeah, I was trying to bring it home a little.
You did. Well, you brought it home for me, but then everybody on the Facebook feed got mad.
Really?
Well, they wanted to keep it
all
technical.
3 of them?
Oh, no, there were a lot of people
A
watching.
lot of people.
There were a lot of people.
Yeah, there was like 200 comments, right? Like all together.
Yeah, there was
Wow.
a steady like 100 people watching, like between Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was well attended and very interesting, but yeah, a little over my head.
How many drinks did you have, Russ?
I mean, I drank I probably had 2 scotches, maybe.
Okay.
Like
Well
2
poured.
pours, which is more than I normally have. I've had that bottle of scotch since I last saw those guys at Daffix. Actually, I buy them in the airport.
Will
And that was, but that was also cask strength. They were right. That was
yeah, cask strength is no joke.
Gotta live up to
Yeah.
the name, you know.
Yeah. We were all drinking some heavy liquor. It's like there was like 1 beer, right? Like,
Yep.
It was impressive.
yeah. No, there's a whole. I think like a lot of the comments were the guy from Valhalla Reverb, Sean, and I was like, well,
Sean
we gotta,
yeah,
we gotta have him on. So
yeah,
he'll do one with us, and then
do it again if you can find the time.
Yeah, it was fun. I think doing it once was the hardest, getting over the mental hurdle of figuring it out. I'm still not like a talk show host or anything.
It was good to see Woody and Dan too. So
yeah, they'll probably be like recurring guests. Dan, yeah, both of either if they want. I don't know.
Well, yeah, and there's Peter and there's Tom. So yeah.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that could do it.
It's funny that Julius's name came up a few times, and I realized I should have just invited him too.
Yeah, my particular draw tends to be it would be nice to mix it up generationally more, right?
You mean like old people? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Any girls?
There's one. Yeah, that's the problem. I was like, in terms of diversity, we're not a very diverse group, are we? We have different nationalities and stuff, but there's 1 or 2 ladies I could ask. I want to reach out to them.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, that would be.
Well, there's
I thought about her.
Mariana Bossi at Dolby.
You could talk to
Turn that down.
Yeah, if you guys know people, I'd like to do something a little more sort of inclusive. That is.
Well, decide on the date. I mean, it has to start with a date.
I think it's decided, right, Emily? Did we decide?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
we decided May 26th.
Yes.
Okay.
James, I just sent you that resource that John Privet posted on his Facebook page. Regarding,
nice.
Zoom audio. You just click that link and it'll download like a little free PDF book that tells you everything that you need to do in admin and in Pro Tools in order to get the best audio. Yeah.
Awesome. If anybody's interested, I'm going to be selling a book on how to get better audio out of Zoom.
Nice.
Just one book?
Do it soon.
Yeah.
This may just blow over. I'm hoping.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think all the Zoom stuff is gonna. I think this is all gonna stick around.
Yeah.
Even after we can be together again.
Yeah.
I think this is gonna blow the idea wide open that you don't necessarily need to be in the same place to get good work done.
But even I mean, shameless plug for Monday. I have a talk coming with a bunch of Nashville musicians: Kurt Chambers, Nick Novelli, Brian Craddock, some of these people, Kaylee Moyer, Tam Camper, and Kyle Pudens, and then more. But that's an interesting topic that we want to talk about because Nashville is such a hot spot for music performance and live. I mean, we've been to Nashville a few times for Summer NAMM, and that thing is always packed. You're never going to see an empty club. And like now, it would be cool. How is Zoom going to play a part into future live stream concerts?
All of the summer festivals that are not happening live, they're all scrambling to figure out how to do something online.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing a bunch of, Zoom sessions for chamber music festivals and schools and things. So, but you still can't really. It's really difficult to do performances unless you're like solo, or you do the pre-record and combine that. But
right.
Maybe we should be trying to solve the latency problem instead of building plugins right now.
It doesn't. Everybody's looking for different different solutions. It doesn't have to be live anymore. You know what I mean? It's like kind of a weird renaissance of that new music industry normal, at least for live. Like Travis Scott, huge in the hip hop world. He just did a live video game concert where he was inside of Fortnite and they pre-rendered like a concert that he did. And it was a chance for people in the video game to feel like they're a part of something that's happening. And it was huge. It was like bigger than life itself because it was not real. But that's like
it doesn't feel canned.
Huh?
I mean, it doesn't feel canned. The experience still feels like
it still felt unique. It felt like you were at a show. Like, and that's even going to be more big, like when VR, comes more into play with these things and all that kind of like interesting, like immersive technology, AR. But yeah, that's like, it's such a crazy, weird renaissance right now that everyone's trying to do. Mark Riboulet just booked a drive-in movie theater tour. So he's doing like a drive-in concert thing.
Drive-ins and drive-bys are all the rage now. Yeah.
That's the best idea.
Came up yesterday.
See, but I'm dubious about how good can it sound? How impactful can it sound coming from an FM radio? I mean, FM radio is pretty good, but one of the best things for me, and I mean, I'm an engineer. I wear earplugs if I go into a bar. So the best thing about being at live music for me is that I get to feel the vibration of the low end, right? You get to actually experience volume in a physical way, and that is gone if you're at a drive-in. And I mean, it can still be cool. It can still be live music, but and it's
why can't there be like big PAs at a like live drive-in concert though? Why can't the sound system be the same?
Well, yeah, you had to open your cars and people could sneeze and there'd be crosswinds and you also, I mean, I don't know. Isn't FM radio half bandwidth anyway? Isn't it only like each channel is only 10 kilohertz?
Yeah. Look, James, I couldn't agree with you more. The thing is, we all remember that experience, but if this goes on for another 20 years, no one will remember what it was like to experience a live show. Yeah, we're so adaptable. Yeah, we're so adaptable, and you can truly enjoy music even with the lowest quality. I mean, so much is in your head, but not to take away from what you said. There's absolutely nothing like being at a show up close with a band really playing and coming at you from different places as the musicians kind of move around and stuff. So yeah,
the physicality and seeing something. Well, I guess the thing that is retained is seeing something truly wonderful happen in real time.
Yeah,
is magical and will always be magical, even if you're inside a car. But
well, even the things that like classical music, where actually it's physical instruments pushing the air, and that's all you're hearing.
Yep.
Well, like amphitheater stuff. You mean?
Like just orchestra halls and stuff.
Concert
the players.
Halls, even galleries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even house concerts.
Yeah, like music that doesn't require amplification.
I mean, there's nothing like having a live audience and the interaction with with a living and breathing audience, because they're an organic part of the performance.
Yep.
Sure. And like I think, but that's what makes it so kind of interesting now, is because like we're doubling down. Like, so live music at least is like, for me, half sonic, like the feeling of being in the environment and the community. And I feel like now everyone's like, okay, the sonic is it's going to be really hard to pull that off. So they're doubling down in the community aspect of it. So how can we bring everyone together? Whether it's a video game, virtual reality, live concerts on Facebook, doubling down on that energy and to just, still trying to make it happen no matter what.
Getting that to work better and better and making it a better. Yeah, you're right. New stuff is it's a good thing. There'll be new stuff. And eventually we'll get back to actually being able to attend a live concert. I'm sure. I mean, humans have been doing this forever.
So wait, so Eventide, you guys invented, the delay. Can you do the negative delay? Like there's negative harmony?
That would be the advanced one.
Yeah.
The sound comes out before it goes in. Yeah, we've been working on that for quite a while now.
We at Eventide, we break the laws of time and space. Uh-oh. I like said something cool and it cut out. But whatever. I was gonna wax poetical about causality, but whatever.
Russell, have you ever seen a movie called Primer?
Right, we can hear you.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Oh,
I
it's
watched
so
it like
good.
I watched
It's
it like
so
4
good.
times in a row. I
I
couldn't
know.
stop watching it.
Yes, you can't stop watching it.
Yeah.
It's an endless loop.
Yeah. I actually used to. So here's a weird story about that movie.
What is happening?
I don't know what that is. I don't. It's
Brett.
not me.
Brett's playing the keyboards.
So I used to play. I played bass for a little bit. The guy who directed Primer, I played bass for his brother. He was a worship leader in Texas.
No kidding.
Yeah, and yeah, I was like, whoa, your brother made this movie?
Yeah, man, he made another movie called Upstream Color That's Okay, and he did a screenplay for a movie called A Topiary that never came out, but is like conceptually incredible and has weird little fragments that you can find on the internet. But yeah, Primer is wonderful.
Yeah, it's like one of the best sort of time travel movies that, like especially like indie flick time travel movies.
100% gritty, real. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, thanks. Never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, can't say that again.
It's kind of like a puzzle.
Never heard of it.
Did you just time travel, Tony?
I think so.
What are you watching?
It's not Aiden, it's me. It's a Zoom. I don't know. Eventide.
Oh, there's Tony. I see.
Well, the H910 is a time travel machine, no?
It messes with the fabric of time, of course.
It does mess with the fabric of time.
That's not the real quote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to bleep it out.
This is a family.
We have to invite him as a guest so he could say it.
It fudges the fabric of time.
Yeah.
Budget. Print shirts.
I am.
I mean, they figured out how to do holograms at live shows. You figure there's room to grow with that technology, holograms in your living room.
A hologram in the living room would be amazing.
That would be sick.
That.
I mean, imagine
It's
having
Tony
like
Stark level stuff, man.
your favorite band just play a personal show for you, but 1 million people are watching it.
I mean, I got way more ideas than just watching a band. I'd play like immersive video games and like.
Yeah.
If I had a hologram, are you kidding me? I would be making an Iron Man suit right now.
Has anybody seen the hologram live show?
I've seen a live show in virtual reality. There's a lot of that stuff going on.
Okay.
Yo, David, your dissertation had to do with virtual reality and instruments, right?
Yeah, I've got my VR headset right here, actually.
Yeah.
Put it on, you see like a stereo image and you're in this virtual environment. I made an instrument for my thesis, but what I was talking about was this app called Wave VR, where you can go and look at people do live DJ shows with live DJ music and live DJ visuals too. So there's like crazy morphing backgrounds and 3-dimensional textures and shifting environments that you can like actually walk around and travel. And then you're with 50 people and you all can talk.
That sounds like something Eric Prydz or Richie Houghton would get into.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
I mean, have you ever been to their shows? It's like fully immersive. I mean, they spend so much money on LED lighting that is all encompassing, and it's absolutely ridiculously nuts. And it sounds like something that would work well for that.
Yeah, definitely be cheaper in VR too.
Is the audio 3D or is it still stereo?
I think this particular app is stereo, but they should invest more in like binaural stuff and 3D audio, because I don't think it's been explored enough, especially in commercial use, what 3D audio can do for the experience.
Is 3D audio Atmos? Isn't that what that's all about?
No, typically it's more like, yeah, it's usually has to be recorded with like like a spherical mic or something, right?
Or like a dummy head or something.
So that when you
binaural or
capturing that audio.
And yesterday's live stream, yesterday's Quarantide, there was a lot about that, about Atmos and ambisonics, and how it, right, and specifically with ambisonics, how it how it dumps down to you know, to 5.1 or to binaural stereo in headphones, and it was fascinating that it can actually do it. You know, it's not just kind of an unintelligent shift to stereo.
5.1, that's so 90s.
How long did that Quarantide go on for yesterday? I had to bail out after about an hour and 20.
I think it may still be going on right now.
Which one was that? Who was on it?
It was basically studio designers and stuff, but it ended up with a question, an open-ended question, because they talked about, you know, projects that they've worked on and technology and things like surround and how they got started. But then the question was, has anything ever gone wrong with the project?
Oh.
Of course, the answer is yes.
And that conversation went on for a while.
And it was good. It got to some good places. I feel like that would be a good question for anyone in any field.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Goes wrong. It always goes wrong.
All right, Martha, play something.
Funny you should ask. Actually,
what could go wrong?
Actually, so there's another podcast that's called Violin Rockstar that I've been part of, and they did a podcast a couple of weeks ago that asked that exact question, like what was the strangest or the funniest thing that went wrong during a concert. So I have to still listen to the whole thing, but my story was actually happened to be the first time I met David Bowie.
Oh, wow.
And so I had started this series called Through the Walls, which was an ASCAP series about, you know, musicians like me that were doing strange kind of music that defies categorization. And Tony Visconti, I'd been doing some work with him, and he came on as I asked him if he would be the host for the initial one which was at the Cutting Room. This was in 2001. And he told David about it, and David came in to the show, like at the last minute, sat down at my table. That was how I met David Bowie. But anyway, I got up to perform, and I was playing with Randy, you know, my guitar player. And so we all have all kinds of, and in those days, I didn't have all these great Eventide pedals. I had my rack mount of all different, Elise's Quadriverb and all kinds of other stuff. And Randy had his whole rack. And we started playing, and in the middle of it, his rig cut out. So we're playing, and then all of a sudden there's no guitar. And we were doing loops and all kinds of stuff. And he's like, and I have a video of this too. And so I stopped for a second, and he's trying to figure out, and he's getting all flustered. And I said, well, it's not gonna stop us. I have the power, I have the looper. And so I finished the song with the loops. And at the end, you hear on the recording, David said, he must have done something bad in his former life or something like that. So, but that was not you have to really be creative. That's when it's good to be an improviser, when stuff like that happens.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. It's so intimidating to do any kind of live looping because anything can go wrong. If you miss that like downbeat, it's over.
It's over.
Yeah.
Christian, in one of the Quarantides, you talked about why one of the reasons you gave up gigging. Somebody messing with your.
That was just so demeaning. It was because I was playing a gig in Long Beach Island at this place called Osprey, which during the summer is just like it's a cattle call. It's just absolutely packed to the gills of just drunk people, and you're basically a musical bartender. And I wrongfully went into that setting like super, you know, taking so much pride in what I was playing and like trying to absolutely kill it. And I walked up to the front of the stage. I had a solo and one of the tunes, and I started playing, and I played the first note, and the thing went, and I was just like, look, and was like, what is going on? And I looked right, and this drunk girl had just gotten on stage and was on top of my pedal board,
No.
hitting the whammy and spilling beer over everything. And I'm looking, and the rest of the band is looking. And I just like, I lost it. I like put my guitar down. I was like, I'm not playing another note until this bouncer throws this girl out of here. And like all the crowd was like, boo. It was, that was like the end.
That's
for me.
awful.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Were they booing the girl, or were they booing you for stopping?
No, they were booing me for taking a stand. No joke. And then someone like threw a beer bottle and it like flew over my head. It was just, you know, when you're playing the drunk people, they just want to. You're a musical bartender.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my own fault. Like for thinking it was anything.
For not getting that. Yeah.
It's a step above playing a wedding. You're in a string quartet.
Trust me.
Oh yeah.
And you're bowing, and a drunk guy comes over with his martini, and you know.
Oh no.
Oh. Does he start conducting?
Sometimes they try to sing along, or they look over your shoulder to see what you're playing. And
Martha, I played a wedding where the groom was so wasted that he came up and he asked if he could play one of my guitar, like I had, and I was just like, I was fuming. I had like smoke coming out of my nose because I don't want anyone to touch my guitar. You know, it's so personal. And I knew how drunk this guy was, and I saw he had like food all over. You know, you're at your own wedding, you're going nuts. And my singer, I really did not like this guy. He was like, you got to give it to him. And I was like, no, I don't. And he's like, yes, you do. And I ended up giving the guitar to this guy, and he ended up staying up there for like 40 minutes and was hitting the headstock like on. I was just, you just have to put up with so much shit when you're doing gigs like that sometimes. And it's just, you know, people don't realize what musicians go through. It's almost, it's abusive, but
it is abusive.
You know, I had no money then, and I put everything into my equipment. Like even going back, that pedal board, that was like, it took me years to build that pedal board, and it had a time factor on it, and she's spilling beer like by the time factor, which is not, you know, it's not like a simple Boss pedal, which is like impervious to the end of the world. Like it's a, you know, like a high quality piece of, like a super high end piece of machinery that if she destroyed it, I wouldn't have been able to replace it at the time. You know.
I know we beer test.
Well, okay, that's good. There you go.
Does Eventide have a torture chamber? Because I know I've visited Shore and EV's factories, and they had something that looked like the movie Saw, where they had like speakers hanging from a chain, and they were shooting it with fire, ice, you know, anything you can think of.
That's awesome.
We pour bricks brewery.
We have a chain in the building too.
Beer on it.
Hanging from the ceiling. I don't know what we hang to it, but.
Oh, right. You guys have a beer.
Yes.
I've got a great gig story where somebody in my band was offered the sale of crack while we were performing. So I don't know if anybody's ever had a performance like that.
Crack while they're performing.
How much of it did you get?
Who haven't performed yet has been offered.
That's
crack.
how I've gotten most of my gigs.
That's how I paid for most of them.
Brett, I played a gig in Aruba. Every 5 seconds, someone offered us drugs while we were playing. It was insane, man. It was.
I did a street buy. I did a street buy at Guitar Center, which is where we buy in used gear, and we actually bought crack because we bought a turntable setup. And after I was unloading everything, I picked up one of the turntables, and there was a little bag of crack in there. So
no, how did you know it was crack?
Well,
it's hard to spot crack.
Sure, one of my guys too.
Checks out. It smells like crack.
What could go wrong at a concert?
Tasted like crack.
Son and his best friend to Maxwell's to see Atlas Sound, which is Bradford Cox of Deer Hunter playing the solo show. He comes on, you know, he in Maxwell's they enter through the crowd, and he came in. He had his backpack. He dumped out his backpack And then there was a pitch factor. He wired it all up and my heart was swelling with pride. We're standing at the very front of the stage. This was right after the pitch factor came out. And he starts playing and he's playing for, I don't know, 25 minutes. And then all of a sudden the switch goes out. Remember we had the bad switch problem?
Oh.
And I'm standing right in front of him.
Oh,
And he's very flustered and the house light, he says, turn the house lights up. And I kind of reach in and I go, I work for Eventide. Let's see if I can help you. And I reach down and I'm just pushing the switches on, off, on, off, on, off. And finally we got it going again. And he finished the show. And of course it was a Friday night and I wanted to replace it the next day and nobody was around. And we finally, I found one at a dealer and we got him all taken care of, but it was a pretty nervous time. And he made a comment about, you know, how dependent we are on technology and all that.
That's my worst fear, going to shows, knowing an artist using our gear, that something's going to go wrong.
It couldn't have been worse because we were at the front of the stage. I mean, I was literally right in front of him and my son was to the left and his best friend was to the right.
Now, we can't ship you with every stomp box, so I don't know what there is to do.
Hey, but kudos to that amazing tech support, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, Tony, a couple of years ago, you came to a show I was playing at City Winery.
Oh, sure.
And it was Patti Smith and Michael Stiper on the bill. And I had a solo shot that like 5 or 6 minutes. And everything went great during the sound
Are you
check.
about to tell me something you never wanted to tell?
No. So what happened was when I went on to do my set, they turned all the lights out and I didn't have a light on my music. And I was playing a new piece that I hadn't played before and I was using so this
Ultra tech.
So, but I have it carefully planned out what notes I'm playing so all the harmonies work out and I couldn't see the music. So I was kind of improvising and some of the harmonies didn't work out so well. And you said at the end you were nervous that there was something that had gone wrong with the pedal. But it was doing exactly what it was supposed to do, but I was playing all the wrong notes. So
I want to know if I can guess that preset. Is that one Hell's Gate?
No.
Ah, damn.
It's
Take a drink.
This is what it does. This is what I demonstrate when I do workshops in schools.
Sounds familiar though. Size matters or something like that.
Maybe it's Size Matters. Yeah, it's a shimmer algorithm, right?
Yeah,
Shimmer.
yeah. And I show that. I don't know where it is. That I'm actually playing one melodic line, and it sounds like an entire chamber ensemble that's playing.
No, you're amazing. No, you really use this stuff to the best use. It's just fantastic.
Well, you didn't know what you were doing when you opened up the can of worms, right?
That's the best thing I've ever done. Kidding?
We just like the worms.
Well, actually, no. Pandora's box. That's better than a can of worms.
A can of slurms.
Slurms.
Right, Russ?
That's right. You seen that Futurama clip where they learn what slurm is? Do you guys?
It's gross.
I have not.
Oh, you should watch it. It's great. I don't know. I like Futurama. So.
Futurama is great. I just haven't seen. I've seen not like just a few episodes, but it's good stuff for sure.
You've only seen. Oh, come on.
I had no idea Slurm came from Futurama. Hey, John.
Hi.
Hey,
How
John.
are you?
I'm good.
Hey, John.
Brother John.
I thought you were working.
Yeah, I'm working.
Uh-oh, that bad, huh?
Yeah, well, sometimes I'm just like a janitor, so I got to clean shit up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like a psychiatrist. I'm trying to figure out what they mean by what they're saying, because clearly there's no reality involved in this part of the process.
You need to remember that the phrase, I'm afraid our time is up.
Why, are we done?
No, it's a Never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
You're clearly not a psychiatrist. You're not getting paid.
Hi. Oh yeah. Right. Exactly. My time is. I'm the worst psychiatrist. My time's never up. How's everybody doing?
We're here.
We are good.
Telling stories, having a good time.
I like it. I like your setup, Martha.
Thanks.
The lights are cool.
Yeah, thanks. I'm starting to do, obviously this is my livelihood right now. So
Right.
I got to make it as, comfortable and inviting as possible. So.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How's everybody doing?
Good.
I want to go home so fucking bad.
I want to leave home so fucking bad.
I know. That's the fucking irony of it.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway, yeah. So everything else is great. Anybody have any big plans for the weekend?
What's a weekend?
That's what I mean. I'm totally not.
Guys, Sunday is Mother's Day.
I know.
That's right.
Thank you.
Don't you forget
Yeah,
it.
Mother's Day, Sunday.
Call your mother.
Yeah.
Make breakfast for your significant other if you have children.
I'll make breakfast for Colin.
Hi, Mom. That was great.
What happened to Colin? He was on the call and
Now he's in my room.
oh,
Just broke the fourth wall.
he's like
Colin.
sending beta updates to the projects and stuff or whatever.
Back to your square. I think that's breaking a Zoom law. It is. Not supposed to do that.
Well, that would be fun if somehow we could all appear in everybody else's Zoom room.
Well, Pat did it earlier.
Yeah, I did it earlier. I'm about to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm in Christian's place.
And I'm not here. Oh, I like it so much. I want everybody to do it.
Oh, awesome.
It would be funny if we were all in Christian's place.
Colin's here too.
It's Patrick and his brother.
Hey, Colin.
Yeah, Christian, we have to do a modern day rendition of this photo behind us. I'll be the one behind you.
I still have the sweater, dude.
Good.
You guys ever see the Zoom classroom thing where the entire class is passing a pencil around?
Oh, that's awesome. I saw that.
No, I didn't
So
see that.
fucked up. Like literally they and another guy grabs it and like the teacher is trying to figure out someone says, "Hey, Mike, can you spare a pencil?" And the guy's like, "Sure, hold on." And they pass it all around until they get to Mike. It's really fucking good.
But how do they know what order the rectangles are in? Because
They keep moving, right?
my screen
no.
is different than
Really
everybody
good.
else's. So how do they know who's next to who?
Really good.
They did it.
Really good.
They also did one where they all froze at the same time. So they just do it with the same teacher all the time. And it's hilarious. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out.
So good. So fucking good.
And I love how there's still new ways to mess with your teachers. Like,
Right.
great. It just doesn't end. When we were kids, we used to have these desks with metal like book holders underneath, and you could lick your finger and rub them, and they would whine like a wine glass, right? And you got like 5 or 6 kids doing this, and it's hard to locate that kind of sound. And the teacher's like, "What is going on?"
That's evil.
Anybody ever do the cricket in class?
No.
Somebody would like
that's
whistle like a cricket, and then nobody would know where it came from.
That's a good one.
Wait, whistle like a
we
cricket.
get creative with
Yeah,
our
can you
teachers.
do that? Can you actually
Oh,
whistle
you
like
know
a
how to
cricket
do
still?
that? Is that in your skill set?
Or can you go? I can't do it.
Yeah.
My
I
kid
remember-
figured out how to kick the teacher out of the conference.
He did.
Yeah, he and his buddy figured out how to kick the teacher out of the conference before they had the security set up.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
Were you proud of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then they would mute the teacher. Yeah, it was funny.
But the schools are not using Zoom, right? They have their own system.
No, so, some of them are. Or
I use Zoom in my class.
A lot of people
So
use
what do they use? Google Classroom. They use Google Classroom, but they didn't have the security set up right.
Yeah.
So everybody was an administrator.
Yeah, Bella's class isn't doing it live. They're just doing it, whenever they can during the day. So they all do it separate. They just get to work and they do it.
Yeah, same here.
So Bella's sleeping until 1 every day. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wish my kids would sleep until 1 every day.
But I wake up at like 7 and I walk into the kitchen to see the carnage from 1 a.m. when she's watching Gossip Girl. And it's just fuck, she made that.
That show is so brutal. That's awesome.
I don't think I want to know.
Dude, so WhatsApp, I remember in college, I would make the craziest concoctions just at 2 a.m. if I'm hungry. And I think the worst one I ever made was I took shredded cheese and I melted it on top of my puffed Cheetos. And I thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And the next morning, I'm just not feeling it. That kind of makes sense.
You go to sleep. Don't you go to sleep eating candy, basically?
Dude, so before I go to bed, I genuinely eat chocolate before I go to bed.
That's horrific.
It's horrible, but I love chocolate. I'll eat it
with you
to go to bed.
Yeah, it's not good for your system.
No, it's terrible. I work out, whatever.
How are you?
Hey man, do it now. You got a few more years of it not mattering.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'll keep going.
We'll catch up to you.
I'll write you a timeline. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen to you.
That'd be really helpful. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still gonna keep going.
But at least he'll know.
At least I already know. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a pre-bed ritual of snacking before bed. It's awesome. It's either ice cream or chocolate. I haven't been buying ice cream because I've been trying to be healthier.
There's no way. You're telling me you don't have ice cream in your house right now? No way.
I have 2 tubs, but they're my roommates. I already finished 4 in the time it took him to not even get through these 2. I'm not even kidding. And they're the big ones.
What is it, just mocha and coffee?
No, I would do, mostly coffee flavored ice cream. But dude, I would just.
I love ice cream.
Oh, what's up, guy?
Hey.
He quit wearing pants and shorts a long time ago.
Way to do it.
And shirts. Yeah, he just there's no more regular clothing in our house.
Good.
Well, if you're never outside, what's the difference?
Yeah.
So you guys, I keep reading about this winter storm that's supposed to hit the Northeast. Is this true?
Yeah, it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit upstate pretty hard
Really?
today, tomorrow. It's gonna snowstorm.
When?
Tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, this weekend it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Supposed to get really cold.
Snow in May. Not since 1977.
Wow.
Climate change, man.
It's 79 degrees in Miami. What's it in Jersey right now?
It's cold.
It's cold.
51.
Yeah.
51.
Well, it was super warm
Jesus.
yesterday.
Yeah, it was nice yesterday. It's terrible.
Yeah, it's just this storm coming through.
Weird. I didn't even know. I don't check the weather anymore. I only check the COVID. Unfortunately. I have the websites that show me the numbers, and I get up and I check it every day like it's the weather. I'm like
Before you go to bed.
I check it before I go to bed. I wish I get in the morning. Oh well, here's the number of new cases. Here's the number of deaths. It's really awful.
Yeah, it's awful.
That's awesome, man.
I've stopped paying attention to that.
That looks great.
We got some trees action. We got some wind going on down here in rain.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
North Carolina? What studio are you in?
It's a place called Dark Pines. It's owned by a very nice gentleman, Max, and he built it out of a little barn behind his house. And it's got this Neve console, like a newer Neve.
Nice.
He's got some outboard gear. It's funny. He's got so here's a good comment. Apparently our sides on the record are too long by a minute. So Jay from the band just texted me and said, take 20 seconds off of every song.
Fade out, Tom.
Just do it, fade.
Just
The
randomly.
first 20 seconds or the last 20 seconds?
I don't know. We're mastering on Monday.
Oh my gosh.
It's so fucking insane. Anyway, no, but it's a good room. They have Augsburger speakers and they sound really good. In fact, I sent 2 weeks ago, on Monday, I sent the first mix to Calvi to listen to. He said it sounded good. I mean, I'd never worked here before. So I was kind of on pins and needles.
If I was making a horror movie and I had to come up with a name for a recording studio, I'd probably call it Dark Pines.
Dark Pines. Yeah, no, but it's a really comfy place and it's basically me. Max is in and out. He lives in the house like a little over there, but they've got like 7 acres or something. It's
Are you in North Carolina?
Pretty cool.
Yeah, in Graham. It's called Graham. It's like an hour away. So the bummer is it's an hour commute each way.
That's an interesting diffuser you have behind you. I've never seen a diagonal diffuser.
Well, they're not really. Yeah, I guess they are diffusers. Yeah. Yeah, and they've got like soft stuff in between.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's actually it's a good find and it's super cheap. And
Nice.
I'm gonna mix something now next week here because
That's convenient. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the hour drive. The hour drive, I get to just chill out, and at night there's not a lot of people on the road.
What's the console?
What?
What's the console?
It's like a Neve, a newer Neve. It's got that Neve Custom Series 75.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not like the 80 series, but it sounds really good. I'm into it. Everything works, and he's got a couple of plates. So,
are you mixing through it, or
I'm mixing
just
through
use it to track? Oh, okay.
No, I'm mixing through it, and then I think like in June or July, I'm going to track some stuff here for like a week just to check it out. But for now, until I get my basement up and running, I mean, this is great.
Tracking means actual people will be there, though.
Yeah. So I think it's like early July. I think it's when we were supposed to go to Spain. Now we're not going to Spain. So
how is like it going with people like tracking albums right now? Did that just go into a complete stop? Like, and it's just mixing right now?
No, you know what? It's weird because I have a session booked in Nashville, a tracking record for like 15 days in June. And like the studios took the booking and they're not saying anything like, oh, it's going to be a problem. And the artist is rehearsing. There's no thought about, it being weird. I mean, obviously I'm bringing masks and I'm driving, I'm not flying. And I'm gonna bring gloves. I mean, I've got my car. It's like I feel like I'm like a doctor. I've got so many fucking supplies in my car. It's insane. But no, they took and this was like 4 weeks ago, we booked a session, and both studio managers. One is Blackbird. I mean, that's a main facility. So, they didn't even blink at taking the book. They were like, oh yeah, sure. June 6th. We'll see you then. It's like, okay.
A lot of the smaller metropolitan areas are already opening up. Like Miami's allowing their barbershops to open next week. So, I mean, as long as you don't have 20 people in the control room, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's not good. It's like, it's only gonna be 4 of us and I'm keeping away from everybody. It's fine.
Yeah.
But no, so it's not like, I know Kaleidoscope has really kind of shut down. Like a lot of people, they're in Union City, so that's
that's too hot. Yeah.
So, but Nashville doesn't seem particularly concerned. So
I heard studios in LA too. They're just if they're doing tracking, it's just bringing in 1 or 2 players at a time. So just limiting the number of people overlapping. So
yeah, that's where we're at too. It's a couple. 1 or 2 musicians make it so everybody can social distance.
Yep.
Doable.
And then wipe everything down every night and every morning.
Yeah.
Right.
All the rhythm sections should just move in together. Get it, just record that way.
I don't know if you're a bass player. I don't know if you want to live with a drummer, and vice versa.
If you're, in your studio, do you ask the singers to bring their own microphones?
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. Very few singers carry around their Neumann U87s,
Right.
We talked about that in one of my chats. Katie Harkin, who plays with Slater Kinney and does her own project as well, which is called Harkin, actually was bringing her microphone into the studio to record a record for this very reason. So I think they're going to start doing stuff like that if you have the gear, I guess.
Sure, why not?
Makes sense.
Yeah. Bring your own headphones, bring your own mic.
Yeah.
I mixed her record.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. I know her for a while. She played on the Waxahachie.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah. I forgot the connection. That's right.
She stayed with us while we were mixing. She was really a great hang. Like,
she's cool.
Yeah. She loved the dog. She loved Gracie. It was unbelievable. Like,
Is it her record out?
Yeah, I get
whatever out means. Yeah.
Yeah, it can't. I mean, I bought vinyl online, so they have vinyl.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I think I got it shipped to me. I haven't been opening packages because I've just been here, but no, it came out maybe a month ago, 3 weeks ago or something.
I think 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. Did she mention that it was coming out?
Yes, she said that on the chat. It was actually coming out that Friday after the chat, but she was pissed because she couldn't, that's a terrible time for a record to come out. You can't tour on it. You can't promote it. She had a bunch of like sweet city gigs lined up to get the word out, and it's just not a proper release. If you're not going to tour on the record, there's no point of putting it out.
Yeah. There was an article in the Daily News about like touring musicians, and it was her being interviewed.
No way.
She lives in England now, so yeah, it was pretty weird. I just had to I'm not convinced, but I had to talk to an artist I work with, made the record in January, and she was crushed that it wasn't going to come out until 2021. And I was like, Jackie, you're not going to tour.
Yeah.
You might get airplay, but nobody really knows who you are at this point.
No.
It's like, just, she's 29, she's impetuous, she just can't, I can't wait. I can't, you gotta wait, just fucking wait.
You can get the next one in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can start working on new music and then, have the next one ready. He's right.
Yeah.
But if you release it now, I mean, especially as someone that's a relative unknown.
Yeah, that's right.
It's horrible.
Yeah. And also, nobody knows her. So when she does her Zoom things now for whatever she's doing, whoever sponsors her, she's only getting like 15 people. Nobody, there's no history of music for anybody to grab onto.
Yeah.
Really. So
that's why we need
no point.
Zoom openers.
Say again?
Zoom openers.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's wacky. I mean, it's like it's like our mother says, "What are you gonna do?"
What are you gonna do?
Ma, I won the lottery. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Our band's selling merch right now, man. That's like the only way I can make money from playing a gig.
I've been buying a shitload of merch from people I work with.
From a lot of the tour merch, right? They're just selling it like on their website.
Yeah, everybody's selling the shit. Yeah, it's the only way. Well, it's one way of donating money to people who are musicians that you like,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, something good is like Bandcamp. It's like letting go of their share of the sales. I think it was for like a week or so. Or
No, they do it on the first Fridays of the month.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Wow.
It's a good way to just push and then like make money that way. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some people that are decent.
some Spotify. Listen. Although Spotify added a feature where you can donate directly into your artist's page that's connected to charity.
That's great. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, what is Patreon? A lot of people are doing that too.
Oh yeah.
It's big right now. Yeah. Yeah. The only thing with Spotify is I don't think you can donate it directly to the musician. I think it has to go towards like a cost, so to speak. So still not for the musician.
Virtual tip jars.
I've tuned into a couple virtual concerts where you can, Rockwood Music Hall was putting on virtual concerts where you can donate directly to the artist.
Mm.
No
Yeah,
fee.
virtual tip jars there.
Yeah, it's great. And to circle back to what Patrick was saying earlier about the communal experience, the virtual concerts I've tuned into have really felt like a communal experience, which is great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Are you seeing
Yeah.
other audience members too, or you're just watching the performers?
Just watching, but it's a little like the live stream where there's kind of a rolling comments section where you can talk to each other and to the artist.
I wonder, I mean, I guess Zoom can hold up to like 100 people. How would it be, you know, if you have the performer and then you can actually see the audience members, even though they're in tiny little boxes, but at least you know.
I think a lot of stand-up comedians are doing that because stand-up is so hard to do without an audience. Dude, it's more than music. You can finish a song without an audience. It's hard to do a bit without that, you know, back and forth. So I think
You
a
have
lot
a laugh
of
track.
yeah, it's true. Unless the jokes aren't good, and then it's just over. But a lot of stand-ups are doing that, where they have like a virtual kind of audience in front of them. It's pretty dope. Yeah.
Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Hi. How's Sean?
He's good.
Where's Sean?
I don't know. Let me see if I can get.
We're on the spot.
So I just got my mixed comments. One of the comments is, "Woo! The vocals are too loud. We are now very close." Like, what the fuck does that mean? Is that a translation? We're closer now that they're too loud than when they were like loud enough. This is my new sign for when people drive me crazy.
John,
my legs dangling from the ceiling.
Are you doing any audio streaming to the client?
No, Jay likes Dropbox and Lou likes WeTransfer.
No, but I mean, so you're not using like an audio movers thing where they can listen and comment in real time?
No, not with these guys. I'd be fucking insane right now. Yeah, no, that's not good. And also, to be honest, I just rolled in last Monday. I don't know if they have it. I didn't have time to really deal with it, you know. But I think that would be counterproductive with these guys.
Sure.
A, because I think the attention span is really short, and B, I just think, you know, as soon as I put the delay on the vocal, I'd be like, you take that off, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have a chance to do anything. It would just
And you're not hearing the same thing.
Right. Hi, Sean.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Sean.
What's going on? A lot of waves.
Just this.
Waves.
Hi, Johnny.
Ugh.
I need a haircut. That's been my problem here.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh, this thing I just fused together there now.
No, I like the look.
No, you're well coiffed.
I
You look like if we drop you on your head, you'll be fine.
I mean, it happened before, and everything seems okay.
Good problem to have.
All right, guys. Well, we are quarter past the hour, so it's probably time to wrap up. But thank you for hanging.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, James, for setting it up.
Yeah.
This was good. Great to see everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Have a good weekend, and
Yeah.
happy Mother's Day to your mothers.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Don't
Tune
forget
in next
Mom,
week.
yeah.
We have way more, live streams. It's gonna be cool.
Take care.
Oh, and tune in tomorrow. Watch me at 3 o'clock on
3 o'clock.
the link.
Okay.
So.
All right. Thank you, guys. Be good.
Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.